Hello, Dan the Gaming Man here. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, as you can see by my surroundings. I'm here on this beautiful desert island, and today what I want to do is I want to talk about my 5 favourite games. In this setting we could say that it's desert island games. So what I'm going to do is just pick 5 games that if I was stuck on a desert island with for eternity, I think I'd be quite happy. Let me know in the comments what 5 games you would choose to be stuck on a desert island with. They can be from any system, it doesn't matter. Let's just have some fun with it. The first game I'm choosing is Disco Elysium. It's just an incredible game. I think it's fantastic. I've described it to friends as being more like a piece of art than an actual game. The game looks gorgeous, the music, the soundtrack to it is fantastic. In fact, I actually got the record, the vinyl of it when it came out. I absolutely love it. And I sometimes listen to it in the background when I'm doing work or whatever. I just think the soundtrack is one of the best in the history of video games. I played it originally on Steam. I think I might have actually got the Switch version for Christmas. And I just think it's a really great story. With a character, he's lost his memory, you've got to piece together all the clues to work out exactly what's happened. So if you've not played it, I'd highly recommend it. It's available on pretty much every platform nowadays. And they've added voice acting to it, so you don't have to just sit and read the text. If you prefer to listen, you can do. So I think that really adds to it. There's some really memorable characters as well. I love Kuno, a little Scouse boy that causes all sorts of problems along the way. There's also Kim, who's your sidekick or the detective that's helping you solve the case. It's a great world, and I think it's really immersive because of the music and the characters. So again, one of the best games that I've played, and I would love to play it again and again. And if I'm stuck on a desert island forever, it's one of the games I want with me. My second pick is going to be Streets of Rage. And I don't have Streets of Rage 2, but I have got a copy of Streets of Rage 4 here, again on the Switch. So that's going to be another pick. I think it's a fantastic beat 'em up. I was really excited when I heard that Streets of Rage 4 was coming out, and it didn't disappoint. It's got lots of unlockable characters, and it just really fits the entire series. It matches. Quite often when we get remakes 20, 30 years later, they don't quite capture the vibe of the originals. And I think it did. I think the art style that they went with is brilliant, and it's like playing a comic book. And reminds me a little bit of Comix Zone, which was a great game on the Sega Mega Drive. But yeah, I think it's one that I would love to play over and over again, especially with all the characters that you can unlock. To be honest, I would like to just choose the entire Streets of Rage series, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed, because I'm only allowed 5 games. Does a series count? Well, it's my video, so yes, I'm taking all of the Streets of Rage games as one of my picks. Yeah, because Streets of Rage 2 is one of my favourites as well. I actually did a playthrough on this channel a few months back, so I'll put a card in the top right corner if you want to check that out, if you've got time. It's quite long, the video. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. You can do co-op as well. I've been playing it online with my friend David a few times as well. We went online. I do have friends. I always say that I don't, but I do. Although we haven't done couch co-op, we have actually played it over the internets a few times, and it's a lot of fun, especially in 2-player. But it's just a great game. Again, good soundtrack, and visually a lot of fun. So if you think I'm not allowed to include Streets of Rage as a series, okay, I'll just take 4. I think it just edges 2 for me as a game that I'd want to play, just simply because I've played Streets of Rage 2 1,000 times already. I'll give Streets of Rage 4 1,000 plays. The next one though is a series, and it's also on the Switch. I'm going with Banner Saga. I've been replaying this recently. It's a game that I played a few years back on the Switch, but I've been recently playing it on Steam. It's a lot of fun as well. Again, I really like the art style of it, the characters, the story. It's one of those where choices matter. If you've not played it, highly recommended. And it seems to be inspired possibly by some sort of Scandinavian mythology. There's giants, there's centaurs or creatures very similar to centaurs, there's witches, there's magic. It's a fantasy game, and it's turn-based combat, which usually for me I'm not into. It's on the grid, a bit like XCOM, but Just like XCOM, I really enjoy this for some reason, whereas a lot of other games I've played in that genre have just not been for me. But it comes again, highly recommended. If you've not played it, check it out. It's one of those games where decisions really do matter. It's not like the Telltale games where if you save this character over that character, it doesn't really impact the story. In this game it does. If you don't save certain characters, it actually has a massive impact on the game. Particularly at the end of the first game, you have to make a big decision between two characters. No spoilers here, but if you pick one character or you pick the other, it's going to change the second and third game quite a lot. If you know, you know. My next pick again is a series of games. So again, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to, but I would take all of the Fallout games with me. And if I can only pick one, I think I'll go with New Vegas. It's probably the best one. Although I do have a soft spot for the third one, I have to say. The fourth one was a bit of a disappointment, wasn't it, when it came out? And the less said about 76, the better. But they're just a great series. Again, I think I probably don't need to say too much about this one, as I'm sure everyone has played it and probably seen the TV show, which again I've reviewed, card in the top right corner. I quite like the idea of being trapped in a vault or being stuck in a post-apocalyptic world where there's mutants and all manner of terrible things trying to kill me. So this game really appeals to me. It's an RPG, so you can kind of create your own character, and whether you want to play stealthily or you want to go in all guns blazing, whichever way you like to play, a bit like Skyrim, which is also made by Bethesda, you can kind of play it however you want. And because of that replayability and the hours that you can put into it and the open world that you can explore, I think this would be a great game to be stuck on a desert island with. So I'm taking all the Fallout games, and if you're only going to let me take one, I'm going to take Fallout 3 or New Vegas. Or 3. I'm going to go New Vegas, which is a cop-out. That's what everyone would pick. But yeah, if I can have all the Fallout games, then I will. And finally, my number 5 pick, and they say, don't they, last but no means least, and that's certainly true for this game, I'm going to go with Mass Effect. And I'm going to play the Legendary Edition, which I've not actually played yet. I've only played the originals. Again, picked this one up and will play it at some point on the Xbox. But I will pick that one because it's got all the games in it, and then there can be no debate whether I'm allowed to only take one or the entire series. I missed Mass Effect when it originally came out. I don't know how I didn't know about it, but it was a few years ago a friend of mine recommended I play it. And when I did, I just fell in love with it. I think it's a fantastic game. So many great characters, and a bit like what I said about Banner Saga, the choices that you make in this game really matter. When you go on each mission, you can take 2 companions with you, and depending on who you choose, they have different skills. So I think that's kind of cool. So you can pick the characters that fit your style of play best. Also, you can play as male Shepard or female Shepard as the main character. The voice acting of both is really good. You can romance aliens. What more could you possibly want? It's just an incredible game. And again, if you've somehow not played it, it comes highly recommended. I don't know how good this Legendary Edition is, which has got all 3 games combined and is a remaster, but I can't vouch for that one, but I can certainly vouch for the original games. So I need to check out the Legendary Edition, and I'm going to when I'm trapped on this desert island. So as I said at the start of the video, what would be your 5 games? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read. I reply to all comments I ever get on this channel, so I will let you know what I think of your picks. And tell me, am I allowed to take a whole series, or am I only allowed 1 game from each series? You have to let me know. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's free. And until next time, stay safe and keep gaming.